A warm good evening to everyone. In this Transformative Reads, each month we meet in a day and then we take world's best self-help books of great authors and discuss powerful concepts from those books which will help us transform our life. So in that way, we have joined today to also know about some of the powerful concepts from a great self-help book. So before entering into the session, let's have some clarity about what to expect and how to go about this event. In the past two episodes, we have been discussing Million Dollar Habits book of written by Brian Tracy. Okay, this is a very famous book which has really given a great transformation to lots of people in around the globe. In the first episode from the same book, we discussed about some of the universal laws. So we discussed about some of the universal laws which are really impacting our life and how we can use those laws to help our lives to be more successful. In the episode 2, we talked about self-concept, how our self-concept is affecting our behaviors, our life, and how far we are being successful is all dependent about the self-concept and how to have a strong self-concept. So these are the things we discussed in the previous episodes. If you have missed them, then please you can visit our Self-Sing School English channel and watch the recording of those two episodes as well. For today, in this third episode, we are going to focus on very important thing, the next step, which is habit formation. Because we might have bigger goals, greater dreams, but without them into action, those dreams and goals are nothing. They will not give any results to us until unless we take necessary actions. So those actions are called the habits. So when you have the right habits in place, only then you will be able to achieve whatever you strive for. Live that dream life. So habit formation is very essential for any people to succeed. That is why people are very much eager to find out what are the successful people do. What are their habits? If you go and see in the videos also, people are very eager to know about what are the successful people's habits. What do they do daily? How do they really achieve so bigger things in their life? Their habits talk a lot about their success. So habits and success are proportionately correlated. So the habit formation is a very important step. So please give your full attention to whatever we are going to discuss in this episode. Let's look at a quote about habits. Thoughts lead on to purposes. Purposes go forth in actions. Actions form habits. Habits decide character. And character fixes our destiny. So we all have found that the thoughts only are bringing close to us to our goals, right? So these thoughts, whatever thoughts we are thinking in our daily life, they are only forming our purposes, what we want exactly to do in our life. So what is my purpose of life? How exactly I want to lead this life and add value to other people? So these kind of things come into our mind only because of our thoughts. But once the purpose is formed, then what is the next step? Is to get into action. Okay. So when you do more of the actions which are going to take you towards that goal, then they are formed as habits. When you repetitively do an action, then it becomes a habit. Then this habit is what going to tell about your character. When we think about a person, we always think about his character. If he has got good character, what is behind that character? It's because of the habits that he has formed in his life. That's what tells whether he is a person with good character or not. So the habits will only decide your character, and that character will only take you to the destiny. We all have habits, right? So we all have some habits, like knowingly or unknowingly we develop habits. So what type of habits we have, that will only decide the quality of our life. Okay, what type of habits that you're having now, that is what is going to decide about the quality of life that you're living now. For example, let us take, you all think about your life now. If you are a healthy person, it just means that you're having a healthy habit. You've got all the healthy habits in place. You eat well, you exercise regularly, you have an active lifestyle. This is what has led to your healthy life. If you're really financially, you're very stable, tells that you're having good financial habits, right? Only when you have good financial habits, then you will have a good financial life. You will earn more money, you will become wealthy, everything will will happen only you have good habit here. If you're having the habit of saving regularly, investing them wisely, not spending them on unwanted things. So these kind of things are going to decide what kind of financial life you're going to live. The same thing goes with relationship. If you see a person who is really good with relationship, they maintain good relationship with their family members, friends. We all know such persons, right? Whatever may be their work life or personal life, but they maintain very good relationship with all the people they are meeting. Why that is happening? It is because these people or having good relationship habits. They will be wishing promptly on their friends or family members' birthdays. They will send out gifts. They will call regularly to all the people they value in their life, right? So they are having good relationship habits. So that is why their relationship life is very good. So you can take any area of your life. If it is suffering, it just means that you're not having good habits in place for that area. If it is going really well, it just means that you're having very good habits for that particular area of your life. So your habits decide the quality of your life. Okay. So this gives us a strong reason to form great habits. Am I right? I think you must have been convinced by now why we should learn more about habits. So these habits, they did not come when we were born. We learned them, right? We did not come into this world with habits. All the habits that we are having now, all these habits are learned habits. Our teachers, parents, our society, everyone has made us learn certain habits. So if you have derived something out of learning, then it is also means that you can form new things out of learning new things as well. So if you want to develop a good habit, it is also very much possible now. And when we talk about good habits, I should say this. So good habits are what? Good habits are very hard to learn but easy to live with, right? We all suffer forming good habits because good habits are very, very hard to learn. But if you see the bad habits, they are very easy to learn. Nobody had to come and teach you on how to develop bad habits, right? Because it is very, very easy for us to learn the bad habits, but it is very hard to live with bad habits. So today we are going to know what are the habits and how we can develop new habits. So first, what is a habit? It is a conditioned response to a stimuli. What we mostly think about habit is that the routines that we follow. That's what we think. Normally, when we think about habit, what we think is that, okay, getting up early in the morning, doing exercise, then going to office, school, or college on time, right? In the evening, also, we will have certain routines. We think that these routines are our habits. They also are part of habit, but whatever response that you give to a stimuli, everything comes under habit. For example, let me tell you, you are in an office meeting. You have been, you told some good idea that you thought in your mind. Okay, in the office meeting, you're contributing to that meeting by telling an idea. One of your colleague made a comment on that, right? Comment on how stupid or silly or basic your idea is. Okay, this is a comment that person has made on you. The immediate response from you is that some people will be like, they will immediately get angry. How dare you talk like that to me? How dare you tell my ideas are silly? So this is their habit. They have got this habit of becoming angry whenever someone is triggering them. Now, this is not something routine to them, but this is a habit, right? Now, I think you can make the difference between routines and habits. So that person is very much habitual to respond to those kind of comments in anger. If you see some people, some other people, they will become very quiet after that comment because they don't know how to become angry or how to react to that situation. Suddenly, what they will do, they will stop contributing in that meeting and they will become quiet. And this is the habit of them. So whenever they are facing some negative comments, their habit is that to become quiet, to withdraw, and then to not contribute anymore. So this is their habit. So in this way, we all have our own responses to the events that are happening in the outside world. So these responses, we don't always think whether this response is good or bad. We do it habitually. Even when you take your children, some people, when their children really make noises, they immediately go and give them a nice bashing, right? This is a habit. They don't even think whether I should hit this child or where I should wait for them to calm down or I should say them quietly. No, they don't think all these things. These processes don't go through their mind. They automatically go and give a huge blow on their face, right? So this is their habit. Their habit of dealing with their children's tantrums. So these kind of behaviors are all called habits only. We do them habitually without thinking. So whatever is happening automatically is conditioned in your mind. That is called habit. We can also see how this habit is formed through this ABC model. One is antecedent. Antecedent is some incident is happening. Like maybe your kids are shouting. That is the antecedent. And antecedent. And for that, you're showing some behavior. Okay. That is what you're giving a blow or a hit to your kids. Okay. So you're beating them. And next thing is the consequence. What will happen next? Your kids will become quiet. Immediately, they stop their tantrums and they become quiet. So, next time, what your mind will learn is that you don't think anything. Come on, go. Whenever they make noise, give up. Okay? Just hit them, then you will get this consequence. Okay? So, whenever that incident happens, your behavior is the same and the consequence is the same. So, this is what making a habit. Mostly, people think that incident is creating that behavior. But what scientists have found is that this consequences, our expectation about the consequences is what is affecting the behavior. We expect that when I hit the child will become quiet. Then I don't have to handle them more. I can immediately stop their behavior. So that is why they immediately get into the habit of beating them. Even with a previous example that I told in the meeting. So why do you keep quiet or why do you get angry? Because you think that that person has made a harsh comment about me, a silly comment about me. What will my colleagues think? What will my superiors think now? Will they respect me in future? Will they take my ideas in future? So you're thinking about these consequences is what is creating this habit inside you. The thing is that we always expect negative consequences. We are always expecting what? Only negative consequences. We always think that things will go wrong. Things will not turn out good. If you see some people, when they are taking a step towards their goal, they are seeing some hindrance or they are seeing a failure or they see that this, whatever the steps they are taking into is going to fail. They immediately quit. Now they have formed this habit of quitting. Why? Because they always anticipate a consequence. Okay, the failure is going to come. I'm going to fail. So if I fail, everyone is going to laugh at me. Everyone is going to mock at me. So they expect all these negative things in future. So because of that, what they do, they immediately quit. Now quitting has become a habit. How many of you have been quitting like this in your life? Like you take a step, if you see that if it's not going to work, immediately quit. This has become a habit now. So whatever you take, you never finish it. Most of us have this habit, right? You start a work, but you never finish it. You never complete it because you fear the consequence. But it happens with every one of us. We have been quitting out of habit. So you don't even think next time. So when you think that the failure is going to come, you will immediately quit. This is a habit now. So what Brain Tracy tells is that expect good consequences. What we talked about is the expectation theory. You do things you do because of the consequence you feel you will experience as a result. Whatever steps you're taking now, you're taking because you're expecting something in the future. That is what is driving you to take that action. If you think that the future of whatever action you're taking will be good, then you will form that habit. If you think that it will not be good, then you will never start that habit. Many of us start that exercise routine, right? We all start, then immediately we leave. Why? Because we know that when we start, we somehow we predict that in future I'm not going to be consistent. Today I'll do for 2 days, I'll do for 3 days. Anyways, I will come out of this habit soon. I'm not going to follow this for lifelong. So why worry now? Let's stop immediately. Why? Because we are expecting some bad consequences in the future. But instead, expect only good consequences. Develop a positive expectation. Okay, anyway, these expectations are all inside our mind only. So why not think positive? The same effort you're going to put for a negative expectation, turn them into a positive expectation. The efforts are going to be the same, but you will have good habits formed. So how to make good habits? Brain Tracy has given a 7-step formula. Many of us would have been struggling in forming good habits, right? Many of you must have been struggling with this aspect of your life because we all know that if I form that habit, my life will be transformed. I have been thinking about it for a lifetime, but still the habit is not formed. At least the new year is coming. We all would have been really charged up to make new resolutions, right? So this is the right time you learn about this and implement in your life, at least for the next new upcoming year. So he is giving us a 7-step formula to form new habits. The first step is make a decision. If you want to wake up early in the morning, maybe 6 o'clock, decide it in your mind, one for all. Don't just tell that, okay, tomorrow, maybe around 6 o'clock I will wake up. No. That is not a decision. That is a contemplation. You're just thinking whether to wake up or not. But before going to bed, just command your mind that tomorrow, 6 o'clock sharp, we are getting up. No matter what, I'm going to get up 6 o'clock in the morning. So make a decision, strong decision. Okay, this is the first step. Only when you decide on certain things, then you will start taking action towards it. Whatever may be the habit that you want to follow, just decide it with clarity. Most of us, we procrastinate things because we don't have clarity about it. Even when you're going to get up at 6 o'clock, I tell you how to get more clarity on your habits. When you want to get up at 6 o'clock, you will have this decision of I'm getting up at 6 o'clock. But what clarity you will not have is that what I will do after getting up at 6 o'clock. We mostly don't think about that. We don't know what exactly I will do next after waking up. So what will happen is you will wake up at 6 o'clock. But after 5-10 minutes, you don't know what to do. So immediately you'll be like, okay, let me just sit on the sofa. Let me just relax for some time. Maybe I will lie down for some time. And then in next 10 minutes, you'll be sleeping again. Because you don't have the clarity of why you want to get up at that 6 o'clock. To read a book, to exercise, or to finish a project, or to meditate. What exactly you want to do? Have the clarity in your mind. So when your mind knows what exactly to do, it will not go to sleep. So have the clarity, make the decision. This is the first step towards developing a new habit. Let's move on to the second step, which is never allow an exception. So any habits to develop, now everyone must have known this. At least we need 21 days of practicing them. Any habits to become automatic. You don't have to think about them. You just get up and do things automatically. To make it automatic, you must follow that habit for at least 21 days. And some people tell 66 days. I don't want to go into the details of that. But until it becomes an automatic behavior for you, don't make an exception. Don't think that, okay, yesterday I did not sleep on time. I slept late. So let me wake up at 6:30. Don't make that exception. If you make that exception, if you give that excuse, then you will not form that habit. So at least in the initial formative time, don't give any exception. I know it will be hard on you. Sometimes you may not be feeling good unless you're really bedridden. Don't give any exception. Okay, whatever may be your mindset, just think that, okay, I've committed myself to do this habit for at least 21 days, at least 60 days, at least 180 days. So I will do it. So no exceptions. The third step is tell others. Okay, so if you have a person whom you can really share with, or an accountability partner who can take part in this activity along with you, tell to them, share them. So most of the people now, they are sharing in their social media profiles, right? They share that, okay, I'm going to go for running for next 30 days. In the morning I'll go for 1 kilometer walk or 5 kilometer running. So in the same way, you start to tell others also, I'm going to do this. I'm going to form this as a habit. Okay, this is a habit I want to form, especially to your spouse or your children, right? That's a great thing, because once you fail, they'll be good enough to make you go on track again, because they know how to shame you, right? How to make you do that action next time when you don't do it. So choose a person like that who will really shame you and comment you really badly if you don't follow what you have promised. So tell those people what you're going to do. Next is visualize yourself. This is very, very important. Okay, because our mind must be ready to do all these actions, right? So before going to sleep, you visualize yourself getting up at that time, doing all the activities that you wish to do, or all the habits that you wish to happen, that you wish to act on. So you visualize yourself doing that. So even in that example that I gave you, when someone is making a comment on you, right, a harsh comment or a silly comment on you in front of everyone, now you don't want to act angry, you don't want to sit quiet, you want to answer assertively, right? This is the behavior, this is the habit that you want to form in those situations. Okay, initially it will be hard. So what I would suggest is you visualize yourself. Next time in the same meeting, same person comes up with such kind of comments, you're going to visualize and act in a way that, okay, I'll be staying calm and composed, and then I will give back to that person. I will tell that person that this is not the response I expected. Okay, I want a decent behavior from my own colleagues. This is really hurtful, so better not do such hurtful comments next time. You can tell this right away to anyone. You're not going to tell this out of anger. or out of self-pity. You're going to tell that person that their comment is hurting and this is not appropriate comment and you should stop doing this next time. Okay, so that person will also learn their lesson that time. So initially, at the start, it will not come to you. That is why this visualization process is very, very important. If you visualize multiple times, next time going into the meeting, when facing such kind of objections or some comments, if you have already visualized yourself handling such situations, you will handle them very well. It comes very naturally to you. So always visualize you acting that habit. Next is create affirmation. This affirmation thing has helped me a lot personally in a lot of things, in overcoming lots of resistances from my own mind. So if I have to get up early in the morning, I affirm before going to sleep that tomorrow I'm getting up at 6 o'clock. I will do the exercise. I will read that book. You're going to tell 2 to 3 times, whatever habit you want to form. You create an affirmation for that. I'm getting up in the morning. I'm doing this. So the more and more you affirm, what will happen is that you start to believe that. You start to believe that I'm the person who exercise daily. Even when you're talking with your friends, you don't tell them that, okay, I always start like this and then I will leave it after 10, 15 days. If you're going to affirm these kind of words again and again, then that is what going to happen in your reality also. Next time, you will never form a new habit. Instead, you start telling to your friends also that I've started exercising and I'm regular with it. I don't miss a day. Whatever time I go to sleep at night, I wake up at 6 o'clock sharp. I immediately start doing my exercises. I'm such a kind of person. So, you're going to create an affirmation and say it to yourself and also use the same affirmation while you're talking with others also. You do the same affirmation while you're talking to others also, because this is also very important. Because most of the times what happens is sometimes we want to look funny, we also want to join the gang, because there will be a gang of people who fail always. Those people only form a gang. So what they will do is that, okay, you start that and you failed. Yeah, I also started that, I also failed. You cannot keep up with your routine. Yes, I can also. I also don't keep up with their routines. They make fun out of all these things. But the thing is that the universe doesn't understand fun. It doesn't understand humor. When you more and more go and tell to your friends and family members that you're not a consistent person, it's very hard for you to form any new habits. And universe is going to give you proof to it only. You will get more and more incidents which will prove that you're not consistent. You're a failure. Okay, so be careful with your words. Even for fun, for lighter sense, don't make any such thing that you don't want to have in your life. So, affirmation is very powerful. Make this the next step. Next, resolve to persist. So, you must really believe that you are a person of persistence. Like how much ever failures or setbacks come, I will persist in my work. I will continue to strive. Maybe you're exercising to lose weight, but you're not losing weight. It's been a month, 2 months, 3 months. You're not losing weight, but still you persist. You persist doing the action. Don't keep your mind on the weight loss or the weighing scale, whatever the number you're going to see in the weighing scale. Just think about what kind of person you're becoming. You're a consistent person now. You're a persistent person now. You have been exercising regularly. That is the kind of person you want to become. You don't have to become a slim person. You don't have to become the thin person that you want to. You want to become a consistent person. You want to become that persistent person. Keep that as your main goal. Only when you have that goal as a weighing scale number as your goal, then you will fail easily. But if you want to become a persistent person, then that is in your hands. You can always do it. So resolve to persist. Until unless you reach that goal, you're going to really keep on doing this. And the final step is reward yourself. So for any habit to stay, it must be rewarding. Human minds are like that. The more and more rewards it gets, more and more it will move towards it. Why we go to the social media profiles? Why we are scrolling throughout the day? Because it's very rewarding. The moment you see a video, you get some funny videos. Some people are gossiping about someone. You get rewarded mentally. That is why you again and again go to the social media immediately. No one has to come and tell you, come, let us form the habit of going to social media. Half an hour once, 10 minutes once. No one is telling that, but you're automatically doing it because you're mentally getting rewarded by all the stimulation that the social media is offering you. Now take out those kind of negative rewards and give some positive rewards. If you're really getting up early in the morning for 30 days, then you go have an ice cream. If that is what really means a good reward to you, or reward a good dress to you, or some tour, anything which feels really good to you. So when you reward yourself, your mind will also be really feel enthusiastic to follow those habits more and more. Mostly, I would suggest to have good rewards for it. Okay, don't have some junk food or anything that is very entertaining. So, what will happen is that that reward will take over all the good benefits of whatever habits you have formed. So, be conscious about what kind of rewards you're going to give it to yourself. So, follow all these steps for any habit that you want to form. So, once you start doing them again and again, then you will form that habit. You will become that person. Next thing we need to have in mind is that we should take this process easy. What will happen is some people, when they really want to change something, right, they will start changing everything about their life, about their professional life, personal life. They will start doing, they will start running from the morning, then immediately they will start attending more courses, professional courses to do well in their job. Everything they will start doing at a time. When you start doing everything at a time, you want to start everything fresh, then what will happen is that you will lose motivation also very easily. So don't do that. That's what Brain Tracy tells. Take it easy. Take one area of your life. Start building that. Start forming good habits for that. Once you have become master in forming habits, you can easily create habits for all the areas. Only first time is very difficult. Once you become the master, then for other areas, you can just like that create habits. When you just have to make the decision. The rest all processes will follow easily. So take it easy. Next is old habits will never die. Okay, let us have that also in our mind. Though we have been training ourselves to form these new habits, the old habits will be stored inside us only. Just like how we all must have learned to bicycle, right? When we were children, we must have learned to ride bicycles. But once after we have grown up, we will be riding only bikes or cars. We would have stopped riding bicycles at all. But immediately tomorrow, if you had to ride a bicycle, would you have forgotten riding that cycle? No, right? If you have learnt once, it's for your lifetime. You might struggle initially a little bit, few seconds, but next time it will come automatically to you, right? In the same way, the old habits, if you're not conscious, they will also automatically come into your life. So be conscious. Sometimes the setbacks will be there. We will fall back. But immediately take charge and bring the good habits in place. Put them in place. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining today. Have a wonderful day.